What is happening, every people? Welcome to the Mad Poet Show. I am the Mad Poet. You are an audience. This is a show. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for smelling. I hope you're having a good time doing what you do, and I hope you do it well. So we did a little impromptu show on Wednesday. For those who may not have seen that and are familiar, the studio is much darker now. I've got everything blacked in except for this one window over here. So I like the way the light show is working out. And played the same album on Wednesday, and I noticed there were some gaps in the lights. It turns out that all of the red lights, like these ones over here, were not working except for right in between the songs. So I got that all corrected, and it's looking much better. I'm liking it. Hey, thanks for coming in, Sarah. Nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Hope you are enjoying your day and the show. And I'm glad that it sounds great. That works well. Sarah, of course, has a slightly different audio view than most people because she hears it through the floor, you know, being here in the same house with me. Nonetheless, thank you all for being here. Let's continue on. What do we got going on here? So we're playing my 60th album. It's called Finite Reality. And what was that first song called? That's the thing I never remember is what the first song was called. The First Funeral. And now, what's the second song called? This next piece is called The Ghost of Temptation. And I'm going to turn it up here a little bit. This will not affect your audio, just mine. I'm just going to get a little bit more volume for me to rock out to here. The Ghost of Temptation. Welcome, Jack Chihuahua Joshua. Freezing moon. I don't understand the reference, but I will say that I think that a freezing moon would be much better than a molten moon, because that would pour down on us, melt our faces, and some people might think that's bad. So I think the moon staying frozen is probably in order. But welcome. Thanks for being here. All right, I need to tune my guitar. That is what needs to happen, as they say, next. Yes, because that's not so great. There we are. That's much better. For those who might be watching now thinking, man, that guy's amazing. He can just tune his guitar. No, I'm looking at a tuner on my monitor. I do not have a great, even really a good musical ear. It's something that a lot of my students are surprised to hear about when I say, yeah, I don't have a good ear for sounds and music. I do all this stuff very analytically. That's very much how I compose my music. I'd say that I was just talking with one of my students about this recently, and one of the things that I can kind of intuit is rhythmic information. I'm pretty good with my timing, but melodies, harmonies, different frequencies. Now, I've got a friend, Vivian, she's got perfect pitch, and I can just be like, hey, Viv, sing an A, and I can just tune to that. It's like crazy. It's really cool. But I do not have that. So I work with what I got. That's my suggestion. Work with what you got. Whatever works for you, you should do your creative work with. So speaking of rhythms, this next piece is called 6 Hours Ago. It's in F. Well, it's in F minor. It's more of a C Phrygian kind of a thing. And this is one, it does a thing that I really enjoy doing, which it goes back and forth between triplet time and straight time, which kind of gives a sense of changing tempos, but the tempo is remaining relatively consistent, and just changing the rhythmic concept makes it feel like it's speeding up and slowing down. So it's something that I really like. Very fun song to play, inspired by a song called Metal Church, off of an album called Metal Church by a band called Metal Church. They were very creative with their song titles. It was a band that I listened to a lot as a teenager. They actually have a lot of great stuff. And the main kind of intro rhythmic idea is inspired by that song. So people who are familiar with Metal Church, off of Metal Church by Metal Church, will find this comforting. This is called 6 Hours Ago. I see Wooden Tank has come back. Welcome back, my friend. Good to see you again. When you were watching the other day, unfortunately, that stream got cut off, and it didn't start back up on YouTube, sadly. And I'm not sure exactly what happened. I think we had an internet glitch over on my end, and I've had that a few times over the years that I've been streaming, and it has been, we're coming up on 2 years of streaming time now. It's been an absolute blast. So yeah, sorry for getting cut off the other day. Hopefully you're enjoying the show. And I was mentioning earlier that the red lights had not worked correctly last time I played this album on Wednesday, which was kind of just a test run for the the light setup and everything. And I had a similar problem on Patron Saint of Murderers, my 55th album, last time I played it. So I went in, I fixed both sets of lights. So tonight, when I come back for the 8 o'clock show, I'm going to play the Patron Saint of Murderers, test out the lights in that one, make sure that should all be working at this point. So if you are still free this evening at 8 o'clock p.m. Pacific time, come back in for album number 55, which has some pretty cool stuff on it. One of the albums I favor playing, and it was in fact the first album I ever streamed with, was the Patron Saint of Murderers. Good times, good times. All right. We've had some nice upbeat music. We're going to keep having some nice upbeat music. And then we're going to slow it down a bit. This next song, C sharp minor. Yeah. Kind of nice medium pace thing. Feels good. It's called On the Run. Alrighty then, moving right on along. I just realized I made the same mistake that I made last time, which I didn't bring any water in. But I can ask Sarah to bring me one because she's in the house with me. Perfect. Hopefully there will be some water on the way because I kind of need it. Okay, so this next one, you may be wondering, is the title of the song and also your possible state of mind. I don't know what you got going on right now. But this is kind of an interesting one. It's in E Locrian, which is a diminished mode, which makes it very interesting to solo around in. Same key as D minor, which I was playing in earlier, which is the same as F major. But I'm playing from a different tonal center, and it doesn't tend to have very good resolution, so it makes it interesting to do guitar solos. And it changes somewhere in the middle, then I think it changes back. So it's basically E Locrian to E minor to E Locrian. Let's see how this works out. This is called You May Be Wondering. So we are moving right on along. And I just realized I did not say hello to Obscure Mysticism Cults when you came in. Welcome. Glad to have you here. And ahoy chat indeed. For anyone who may be just coming in on any of the various websites that I'm streaming to, welcome. I'm the Mad Poet. You are an audience. We are the Mad Poet Society. And this is what we do. We're kind of doing a slower part of the show right now, but we will be picking it back up. And I kind of wanted to hit this album again. I played this album on Wednesday as a test with the new setup in the studio here. And had a few tech things. The red lights were not working during the actual songs. And then the stream cut out at some point and just went away. So hopefully we'll get through the entire album today. Like I said, I've had that a few times. The internet sometimes has its little glitches, and we got to deal with that. So always a good time, though. And I will be playing the Patron Saint of Murderers tonight at 8 o'clock p.m. Pacific time. And as I announced last Friday, this coming Wednesday, I will be doing a kitchen stream. I'll be making the Grandma Jill recipe for coffee cake. And during cooking time, I will be playing the entire song Faded Age, which is about a 21-minute long piece and kind of got a very cool backstory to it. So that's coming up on Wednesday. Hope you guys can tune in for that, and tune in this evening if you want to hear the Patron Saint of Murderers, which is another album that I've had trouble with the red lights on. I don't know what it is with the red lights. Both times I've gone in to find my problems, I'm like, the red lights got moved. I don't know what happened. I don't know how that would happen, but it did happen, and so I took care of it. We're going to do another slower piece here, then we're going to pick it back up a bit. And this piece, I've talked about this every time I played it, but it's just, there's so much cool stuff with this song. It's called The Shadow's Embrace. And basically this song is dedicated to my grandmother, Grandma Marie, with whom I was very close. She was a great gal. She's so dead, as with all my grandparents, and we will be joining them one of these days. But then also this is a song that my friend Susan did a cover of. She wrote a cover of this for choral work, and she publishes her music in sheet music form, which is extremely cool. And so I can't play this song without thinking about those two ladies, both of whom are, Susan and I are still very close. My grandmother, not so much these days. She doesn't interact with us much with the whole I'm gonna go be dead thing. So, there's kind of that going on. Nonetheless, let's do this. B flat minor. This is The Shadow's Embrace. So I gotta go check my desk here. Apparently Sarah brought some water in. I thought I heard, oh, I see it. Okay. Wow. She snuck that in there real well. Excuse me. Water. All right. So now, whoa. Swallowed that wrong. Something in that water. It's liquid. Thank you very much, Sarah. Greatly appreciate it. We need to talk about something here. So there comes a time in every show, and that time has arrived. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at the G sharp minor portion of the show. You are welcome. And fanfare ensued. This piece is called To Think Beyond Rationality. Alrighty then. Moving right on along. And a while back I realized I've played this album a lot of times. So that was called To Think Beyond Rationality. And it took me a long time, way longer than it should have, to realize that I had two songs about thinking right in a row. This one is called Thought Is All I Am. To think beyond rationality, thought is all I am. Apparently, I am far beyond rationality with all of the thought that I do. Steven, welcome. Great to see you, old friend. Very good indeed. Thank you very much for the compliments and the claps and everything. Glad to have you here. Hope everyone is doing well out in the world, doing what they do and having a good time with it. Because that's what I'm doing. Doing well, doing what I do, and having a good time with it. Which makes me realize I have not eaten pizza in like 3 days, so I may be due for some pizza making activities here this afternoon. It'll have to be, if I make a pizza, it'll have to be the thin crust, because I don't have any beer in the house. And the only reason I ever have beer in the house is for my thick crust pizzas. So that will not be happening, because I don't feel like going to the store just to get beer. All right. So there may be a pizza in the near future here. All right, let's do this. E minor. This is called Thought Is All I Am. Satan's favorite flavor of pizza. Let me fix this light and we'll talk about that. There we are. First wonky light of the day. So, I like Obscure's answer to that. That's good. But I started thinking, what would Satan really like? What if I was Satan? And I, come home to my fiery palace after a hard day's work, torturing souls and flaying flesh, burning sinners in a lake of fire. What I want to do. And I just feel like if I were in that position, I'd kind of be a purist. I'd probably just want pepperoni. I haven't talked to Satan about that. So maybe, when I play cards with him on Thursday, I'll see what he says. We'll find out for sure. But I'm inclined to think that if I were in the Satan position, I would go for pepperoni. It feels like it should be a more bold choice. But I think that Satan would be a purist on that. That's my guess. And I see that we have a new follower, Tard Hub. If you're out there watching still, thank you very much for the follow. Greatly appreciated. I'm not sure exactly when that came in, if it was during this show or not. I just glanced over at my list because I've got a 3-monitor setup, sheet music in front, broadcast software over here, and then on the right side I've got my chat and some information about followers and tippers and the like. So don't always follow it. Sometimes I have a 4th monitor on, and a lot going on my little computer system here. My computer it's a very, very good computer. It works hard, earns its keep quite nicely. Satan's favorite flavor of pizza. I'm gonna say pepperoni, but that may just be because I'm a pepperoni guy. I may just be putting my own ideas into Satan's head. What I think should be in Satan's head. Maybe. Hey, I could be Satan. Let's do that. Let's promote me to be Satan. I already consider myself the evil Pope. So let's just take it one step further. Maybe when Satan steps down, I can be like Satan the following. Satan part 2. It seems like that'd be a good position. Rule over all of Hades. Get to hear the screams of the suffering for all eternity. Yeah, I could get behind that. I feel like I could get behind that one. And surrounding my fiery throne, I could have a pile of skulls. Good times, good times. A pile of skulls. The 9th song off of my 60th album. For those who may be coming in a little on the late side, I am the Mad Poet. You are an audience. We are the Mad Poet Society. Thank you for being here. Right now we are playing my 60th album. It's called Finite Reality. And we'll be back this evening at 8 o'clock playing my 55th album, The Patron Saint of Murderers. The 2 albums that I've had to correct my red lights on for some reason. Still not clear on. They had slightly different problems on each of them, but they were both weird. And I feel like I've got this figured out. So it's the red light rejuvenation show today here. Felt like I was going to go somewhere with that. Nonetheless, thank you for being here. I've got one more song to play, then I got some pizza to make. Because that's what I do. Guitars and pizza. If anyone ever is like, hey, tell me about the Mad Poet, just be like, dude, guitars and pizza. That's all you need to know. That's it. That's all. That's what he does. That's what he do. Last song of the afternoon show. This is called Before Eternity. And Wooden Tank says electric banjos and casseroles. Yeah, that's it. It's funny. I just yesterday I had someone call me about banjo lessons, and I said to him, which was another coincidence because Susan, who I talked about earlier with Shadows of Thought, she had the cover tune of that. She's the only person that's ever had this. She has written a song that will appear on one of my upcoming albums, and it features banjo. So I actually have to get a banjo and learn some banjo technique to play that song. And I don't know when that's coming, because I don't even know when my next stupid album's going to be done. Album number 65 has been such a pain. Incomprehensible Isolation. It's killer. The work on it. I may have to re-record all of the guitars another time. I'm not sure yet, but I'm gonna figure out what's going on with the weird sounds I'm hearing somehow, even if I have to record the album over again, which for me is like whatever. I can record an album. But yeah, banjos. You're gonna fit right in, Wooden Tank. You've got the right kind of comedy for the people who come into the Mad Poet shows. So for anyone who's coming in a little late here, that is the end of my show. For everyone who's been here today, thank you very much for watching, for listening, for smelling the show. You are always appreciated. I'm the Mad Poet. You are an audience. We are the Mad Poet Society. You are members for life. This is what we do. We're going to do it again at 8 o'clock p.m. Pacific time. So about 6 hours, 45 minutes from now, we'll be back doing The Patron Saint of Murderers, my 55th album. It should be a good time. We'll see what happens with that. I'm the Mad Poet.